They called him America's unknown child, a nameless boy found in a box, beaten, starved, forgotten. No parents ever came forward. No one claimed his body, and for over 60 years, nobody could even say his name. Some say his spirit still lingers where he was found. Others believe the truth was buried long before his body was. But what really happened to the boy in the box? A young man named Frederick Benoni's was walking along Susquehanna Road, hoping to check his muskrat traps. Through the trees he spotted something, a large cardboard box tossed near a dirt path. He almost ignored it. Trash in the woods wasn't unusual, but something about this box, the way it was folded almost too neat, caught his eye. He opened it. Inside was a small, pale boy, naked, bruised, wrapped in a thin plaid blanket. The box had once held a J.C. Penney bassinet, the kind you'd use for a newborn baby. Frederick panicked. He didn't call police immediately, afraid of getting in trouble for his traps. He quietly left, promising himself he'd return later. It took another man, a college student named William Smith, to finally report it to authorities. By then, hours had passed, and any chance of saving the boy or catching who did this was gone. The scene looked like something out of a nightmare. Detectives surrounded the box. Inside, a boy, estimated to be between 3 and 7 years old, his small body covered in bruises, his hair crudely chopped, as if someone tried to disguise him. An autopsy revealed haunting details. He had been malnourished, weighing barely 30 pounds. There were old and new bruises across his body. His hands were wrinkled, as if they'd been submerged in water. Cause of death: blunt force trauma to the head. No fingerprints, no clothing. No one reported a missing child matching his description. Philadelphia detectives called it the most puzzling case they'd ever seen. The box itself had a serial number, traced back to J.C. Penney, shipped to a store in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Only 12 had been sold. Police tracked every single buyer. Nothing. The blanket, a cheap cotton flannel made by a local mill. Thousands sold. Another dead end. The only real clue was the boy himself. Detectives fingerprinted him. They photographed his face, hoping someone somewhere would recognize him. Posters were printed across the state. They even displayed his face at department stores, gas stations, police stations, anywhere with foot traffic. Thousands of tips poured in. None led to his identity. Investigators tried everything, even posing his body in lifelike photos, dressed in clothes, hoping it might jog someone's memory. The public was horrified, but silent. Weeks turned to months. The city buried him in a small coffin donated by a funeral home. The headstone read only, "Heavenly Father, bless this unknown boy." But police never gave up, and over the decades, theories began to multiply. The first major lead came from Remington Bristow, a Philadelphia medical examiner who became obsessed with the case. He spent his own money following clues long after the official investigation went cold. Bristow's theory was haunting. He believed the boy had come from a nearby foster home, a small, privately run place on Susquehanna Road, just a mile from where the body was found. He noted eerie coincidences. The home had a bassinet identical to the J.C. Penney model. The blankets there matched the pattern found in the box. And the foster mother owned a photograph of one of her daughters holding a child who resembled the dead boy. Bristow begged police to investigate further. They did briefly. The foster parents were questioned. They denied everything. No signs of abuse were found in their home. The case once again went cold. Still, Bristow couldn't let go. Until his death in 1993, he claimed the boy had been killed accidentally, perhaps during punishment, and the family covered it up. But without proof, his theory remained just that, a theory. Then, decades later, a chilling news story surfaced. In the early 2000s, a woman known only as M came forward. She claimed that in the winter of 1957, her mother had purchased a young boy from his birth parents, and that this boy had suffered horrific abuse in their home. According to M, her mother beat the child regularly. One night, during a violent outburst, she struck his head against the floor, killing him instantly. Panicking, her mother cleaned his body, cut his hair, and hid him inside a cardboard box. Then, she said, they drove to the outskirts of Philadelphia and dumped the body in the woods. Investigators were intrigued. M described details that weren't public: the blanket, the box, even the boy's haircut. It sounded convincing, but when they checked her family records and home, nothing matched. No proof, no names. Authorities ultimately deemed the story possible, but unverified. Even so, many detectives later admitted it was the closest they ever came to a confession. As DNA technology advanced, hope returned. The boy's body, carefully preserved after his 1957 burial, was exhumed twice, once in 1998 and again in 2019. Forensic scientists extracted mitochondrial DNA samples, hoping to trace distant relatives. Years passed. Then, in 2022, a breakthrough. Using genetic genealogy, investigators built a family tree. Thousands of DNA comparisons later, they found him. The boy in the box finally had a name. He was Joseph Augustus Zarelli, born in January 1953. He was 4 years old when he died. His parents were identified, though police have never publicly released the full story behind them. They are both deceased, and no criminal charges could ever be filed. Detectives believe Joseph was likely never reported missing because his family wanted to hide the abuse, or because the system failed him completely. When his name was announced, the city of Philadelphia held a small ceremony. Police officers, reporters, and citizens gathered around his grave, now bearing his true name. After 65 years, America's unknown child was finally known. But even with a name, the mystery isn't solved. Who exactly killed Joseph Zarelli? Was it his parents? A foster family? Someone else entirely? Police haven't said. Some retired detectives believe both parents knew what happened and helped cover it up. Others think Joseph might have been passed between families, abused, neglected, then abandoned. There were signs he had surgery once, a small scar near his groin, proof he was treated by a doctor at some point. So how could no one recognize him? No hospital, no relative, no neighbor came forward. It's as if Joseph existed in the shadows his entire short life. Today, visitors still leave flowers and toys at his grave. Children's shoes, stuffed animals, notes that read, "You're not forgotten." The case changed how the U.S. handles child disappearances. It inspired new missing person systems, DNA databases, and public awareness campaigns. Forensic experts still study the boy in the box case as an example of both tragedy and progress. Detective Bill Kelly, who worked the case for years, once said, "Joseph was everybody's child. We all wanted to find out who he was, because he deserved that much." Even after DNA confirmation, theories keep surfacing. Some locals insist the orphanage connection still makes sense, that the foster family might have been related to Joseph's parents. Others believe the boy was hidden deliberately by someone powerful, a theory born from the strange secrecy surrounding his family's identity. There's even speculation, though never proven, that the boy might have been part of a black market adoption ring, where children were bought and traded under false papers. Historians point out how mid-century America often failed its children. Foster homes, asylums, and informal adoptions left thousands unrecorded. Joseph may have simply slipped through those cracks. But perhaps the most haunting thought of all is that there may still be people alive who know exactly what happened. He was just 4 years old. No school photos, no birthday parties, no one to tuck him in at night. And yet, in death, he became one of the most remembered children in American history. For decades, strangers visited his grave, people who never knew him but felt like they did. Because Joseph's story isn't just about one boy. It's about all the lost, nameless children whose stories never got told. Maybe that's why his spirit feels so heavy, because it carries more than one name. The mystery of the boy in the box may never be fully solved. But the world finally knows his name, Joseph Augustus Zarelli. And sometimes, that's the closest thing to justice the dead can get. If stories like this one stay with you long after the screen fades to black, subscribe for more haunting true stories, because the past never stays buried, and neither do the secrets it keeps.